Alright, quick video. I'm just going to go over my top 5 favorite albums of all time. Number 5, I have Lorde, Pure Heroine. This is, in my personal opinion, the greatest pop album ever written. Considering the fact that she was only 16 when she made it, it's just such a phenomenal piece of music. It's a pop classic. And I think back to what I was doing when I was 16, probably playing Fortnite or doing some other genuinely stupid activities, but she created one of the most mature, lyrically complex albums that I've ever listened to. And not to mention how, on a surface level, it's also filled top to bottom with bangers. Banger after banger after banger. Zero skips. Another piece of information that I want to, give about this album is that it starts with the song Tennis Court and ends with In a World Alone. And the first line is, "Don't you think that it's boring how people talk?" And the last line of the album is, "Let 'em talk." And I just think that's so cool. I think it's a great album. You've probably heard it, but if you haven't listened to it all the way through, I would totally give it a listen. If pop music is your kind of stuff, and even if it isn't, I think it's a great piece of music regardless. All right, number 4, I have "Communique" by the Dire Straits. And I think that this one's a little bit overlooked in their discography, by Brother in Arms and their self-titled album. But it's incredibly cool sounding from top to bottom, and there's just not a single skip. Just like the Lorde album, there's not a single skip in this entire thing. And it's one of those albums similar to Balloonerism by Mac Miller where you should listen to the entire thing start to finish. You can't just turn it on and just listen to one song. All right, at number 3, I have the greatest Rolling Stones album of all time, Some Girls. And you can tell when listening to this album that it's very influenced by the life of New York City in the 70s. It's quite honestly pretty problematic at points, which even prompted the whole album cover lawsuit that followed. And if you don't know, I'll give a quick backstory. The original cover featured multiple celebrities like Marilyn Monroe and others, and they were on this album, but they sued because they were never asked to be on this album. So Rolling Stones are selling it. They sell a bunch of copies, and now they're forced to remove them from the cover and stop selling them at once and sell alternate versions. But the versions with their faces on it are still in circulation, and I am a proud owner of one of them. And just not just for that piece of history with it, it's just bangers top to bottom. Again, I hate to keep talking about all of the bangers, but you've got "Miss You," which is probably their most iconic song. But you also have, songs like "Beast of Burden" and "Shattered," and "Respectable" is probably the most underrated Rolling Stones songs ever written. You also have "Just My Imagination" running away with me. It's so good. So if you haven't heard this album in its entirety, I would give it a listen. It's it's not classy. It's not very sophisticated, but it's not trying to be, and it doesn't need to be either. That's the thing, the beauty of it. Yeah, it's a really good album. All right, number 2, I have another late 70s banger. I have "Rocks" from Aerosmith, and this is an album that honestly not many people my age even know exists, and probably not a lot of people in general have really heard all the way through. But this is a pretty short album, actually. It's like only like 30 minutes, but it's so great. The guitar work is phenomenal. The lyricism is so great, and it's by great I mean sleazy and silly, but it works. It's similar to Some Girls. Not every album has to be "To Pimp a Butterfly" with super meaningful and conscious lyrics. Sometimes you can portray the a-hole, it's probably the grittiest album in their discography, and it's honestly not even the most popular one. I think a lot more people know about their self-titled and "Get Your Wings" and "Toys in the Attic" and maybe even "Draw the Line." but in my opinion, this is the greatest rock album of all time. And I think Kurt Cobain even said that this is like one of his favorite rock albums. I think it was on his like top 25 or top 50. Um, and Nevermind, honorable mention. We'll give an honorable mention to Nevermind. Unfortunately, this is better, but really great album. If you haven't listened to it, which you probably haven't, I would say just listen to this thing the entire way through. Um, from the starting track all the way down to the finishing track, it's just banger after banger after banger. Check it out. All right, the best album of all time, in my personal opinion, is Midnight Marauders by A Tribe Called Quest. Okay, this is a sort of jazzy hip hop album, and it's kind of got some more laid back beats compared to some of their other work. But the lyricism, oh my gosh, it is so clever, and the production is so rich. Okay, and that sort of juxtaposition is so beautiful to me. This is another album where if I put it on, I'm gonna have to listen to the entire thing the whole way through. You know, um, it's just such a great boom bap East Coast hip hop record. The first song of the second side, they even go into the album cover and how the album cover relates to the songs and into the story and into the message and the meaning and everything of the music inside. So it kind of creates more of like an interactive experience as well, where you can, use that album cover as a sort of guide as you're moving along this beautiful, beautiful, amazing record. I honestly think that this is pretty much one of the greatest things that human beings collectively have ever came together and created. And even if you're not a super big fan of hip hop, I pretty much got something for everybody. If you want to listen to the lyrics and break down all the really clever lyricism and triple entendres and all this stuff that they are including in this record, you can do that. If you want to just sit back and enjoy the vibes of a phenomenal jazz rap record, you can also do that. It's great foreground, great background music. I honestly can't say enough beautiful things about it. Yeah, give it a listen. I think it's the holy grail of music. So